Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's Top 5 Camps, beginner, casual, tier 2, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, league. Yeah, I'm TNG, and as ever, I've got some amazing builds to show you. Now, if you missed yesterday's video, which was the Pro League, make sure you go and check that out now. If I remember, I'll leave a floaty card in top corner. But yeah, as ever, I'm just going to show all of these builds in no particular order, and then at the end of the video, we're going to find out where they all come. Let's get into it. Let's get cracking. Go, go, go. For our first camp, we've got the Chems and Carnations build by Coffee Ewok, and you have no idea how much joy it gives me saying that. Coffee Ewok has been uploading for nearly a year now, so it's bloody awesome to see him actually getting in. Well done, my friend. Great perseverance. Now then, this camp is obviously very, very small. In fact, it's only at 40% budget, I do believe. But just look at how full it is. Yeah, it just goes to show that a massive camp with a 100% budget isn't always needed. You can pull off something that looks incredible with very, very minimal items. I mean, for Christ's sake, mon petit fleurs, the actual building part of this build is only 2 foundations wide. But look how cool this camp is. It's a fun-size build in a fun-size package, much like myself. If we're talking complexity levels, yeah, this is... It's actually rather simple to do. There's nothing too mad about it at all. What really makes this build, in my opinion at least, is the levels of decor and how well it's done. There's a decent amount in here because the building is small in stature. It looks very full. But I think the outside area that Ewok's done, that looks really cool as well. And it fits in with the theme of the build. Chems and Carnations at the end of the day. So yeah, Ewok, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. Awesome camp, this. Camp number 2 this week, we have the Rustic Pond Side Refuge by Cyber Jester. What a beautifully clean looking little build this is. Simply lovely. Now, I have got to say, Jester, what a great choice on the location. It's an old one. I think everybody's built here, but it's still top tier, in my opinion. Looking out over Watoga, and then when them nukes drop, it's awesome. There's not many places that can compete with this, in terms of views. Now, in regards to the structure itself, it's quite a nice shape. Like I say, it's very clean. Not the most complicated I've ever seen, but there is a couple of tricks in here. We've got some overlapping walls, for example. Yeah, overall, it's just a very nice looking camp. I like the little Mothman shrine that you've got at the back, though. That's a nice little touch. If we take a look at your interior, it's very functional, not overly decorated. Follows the exterior, really. Quite clean, does the job. Yeah, no complaints from me whatsoever. Jester, not a bad build at all, my friend. Thank you very much for submitting this week. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. Camp number 3, we have the Blue Ridge Bog Outpost by 6 Samurai. I love the concept to this, you know, fortified little homestead, effectively. Let's take a gander at it. Right, so first things first, yeah, the exterior perimeter wall. I love that. You don't see a lot of camps with this kind of design to them. And I like how you've built it around a road as well to make it look like a trader's caravan runs through it. And this is like, you know, an outpost, as the name suggests. Now, I know that you have used the communist fencing all the way around, but I do like how you've used the Blue Ridge guard posts and some hay bales to kind of break it up a bit. Does give it more of a ramshackle kind of look. Personally, I would have liked to have seen some junk walls in there, you know, just to break up, just to break up the fence line, make it look a little bit more wastelandy. But that's just a small criticism, and it's just my personal view. I think it looks cracking. I think you've done an awesome job with it, and I think the exterior in general looks good. Like the use of the prefab Firewatch Tower. I think the decor in the outer area is pretty much bob on as well. And the house you've made out of the log cabin set, I'm actually surprised that fits in as well. I've always classed it as a clean building kit, but no, it works well here. And again, the decor inside of that is pretty much bob on. I've got no complaints about this camp. I think it's in a good location. Very, very clever use of the location with a novel idea. Yeah, really solid camp this, Samurai. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. Camp number 4, we have the Cliffside Moonshiner Shack Camp by Alex Stone. And this, just by looking at it from the outside here, this is borderline pro. If you keep pushing out builds like this, Alex, I reckon you'd have a good chance in the Pro League. I really do. But that's just from first impressions. Let's actually take a ganders into this thing. So, in terms of the structure itself, not a difficult one to put together. But that's not a problem. Yeah, it can be simple. It can be complicated as shit. If it looks good, it's a win-win in my book. Obviously, stuff that's more complicated can be more appealing sometimes. But anyway, let's not get into that, yeah? What I'm trying to say is it's a cool-looking build. What I really do like about it is the mishmash of materials. Guys, I've said this 5 million times now, right? If you're doing a scrappy build, mix up what you're building with. At the end of the day, yeah, if you're in the wasteland and you're trying to put together a hut, for example, you're going to use what you can find. Chances are it's not all going to be the same shit. So, yeah, that's the kind of principles that I go for when I'm building scrappy stuff. And I think it looks pretty cool. It's worked out here perfectly. What really did it for me on this build, though, was, one, the location. As you can see, it's in a great spot with an awesome view. And the decor. The decor levels in this are spot on, and it is perfectly well executed. Everything from the outside to the interior on it. Again, it follows that scrappy, thrown together kind of look. But there's been a lot of time put into this. Make no mistake, guys. Yeah, overall, Alex, solid camp in a great location with some fantastic decor. Thank you very much for entering this week, my friend. Alright then, so for camp number 5, and remember, for all you new people watching, I know it's called the top 5, but we actually have 7 camps in this because there's 2 honourable mentions. So yeah, make sure you stick around because we have got more camps to show you. Anyway, this is the Ghoul Fight Night Club, should we even be talking about this? But sorry, that was shit, by the Atomic Punk 24. This is an unusual one with a very different concept, but I'm all for it. I love it. It's a cool camp, this. I think it's the Ultrasite. I'm like a moth. But yeah, I mean, there's not actually too much in terms of structures. We've got the prefabs being used there. I'm not a massive fan of prefabs, but I do think these ones look okay. But yeah, the parts where there is structures, although they are very simple, if we take a look inside of them, they are very, very well decorated. Like this Ultrasite chair throne area here. I love that interior space. Yeah, there's not much of it, but I think it looks bloody awesome. I mean, there's not really too much more to look at in this. It's a very small camp, and a lot of it is prefab structures. But, like I said, I actually think it works. The thing that enticed me to this most was just how natural it was. This is probably the most wastelandy build of the week. It fits in perfectly. And if you think of like raiders and what they get up to and stuff like this, a fighting club where ghouls have a scrap, whether they're willing or unwilling, is definitely something they would do. So yeah, to me, this is a properly wastelandy build. Yeah, I like this one, Punk. I like the idea behind it. And I think you've done a good job with actually very limited items, to be honest with you. It's actually really impressive. Yeah, thank you very much for submitting this week, my friend. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. It's a strange one, this. It is a strange one. Right then, so for camp number 6, we have the box office build by D0314. This has kindly been uploaded for D by Cowing Baby. So in the description, if you want to check this camp out, click on the Cowing Baby link. But anyway, yeah, this is obviously a house built out of Blue Ridge Caravan storage chests. Now, I've never actually stat these. Okay, I've never messed around with them to this degree. But I can imagine, knowing how this game works, these are a kick in the penis to actually stack on top of each other. I could be wrong, but that's just me going off experience with other items. Yeah, I imagine there's a fair few hours in this. I don't really know what to say about the exterior because it is literally a bunch of boxes. I do like that pathway you've made, sinking, merging down into the ground. What are they then? Are they benches? I think the benches. Yeah, I think the benches merged into ground. But anyway, yeah. Nice little pathway you've got going on. It does have a Japanesey kind of vibe, I guess. We've got the stacked benches going up it as well. Yeah. I mean, it's an house of boxes that looks mildly Japanese, isn't it? Yeah, that's the best description I can give you guys, but it's cool. It's definitely outside of the box. Bigger bum, boom, tsh. Beautiful. One question I have got to ask, though, that I haven't been able to work out, is what in the platform 9 3/4 is going on here? This is some Harry Potter shit. Right about now. Look, they're just running through it. They're just running through it. Again, I've never really messed around with Blue Ridge Caravan boxes. I think I've floated one in my life, right? But I doubt you could just run through it, so how does that door work? Can you please explain to me how that works? I'm sure there's some convoluted trick that I'm too stupid to know, but I've got to know now. So please, let me know, because that is cool. I like that. On the interior front, with it being a house of boxes, there isn't actually going to be too much space in here. And as we can see, it's literally an office. I get it. Box office. Nice. Very well done. Very well done. That nearly made me smile. That did actually make me smile, to be fair. But yeah, overall, DO314, cracking build. It must have taken you a while. I like the concept behind it, but that door has actually agitated me as much as it's intrigued me, because I can't work it out. But yeah, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. For our final build of the week, we have this Scrappy camp by Terminus. And yes, you can build up here in adventure mode. It is a pain in the arse to get up here, but it is doable. Another thing that's an absolute pain in the arse about this location is actually building on top of there. Now, I've got a camp up here myself, and let me tell you, it's no treat. It can be rather tricky to get stuff to go how you want it to go, especially when you do an actual build like this, if that makes any sense. Mine's quite skeletal. I've just got a crane up there and like a building site around it. So something like this would pose a few challenges. I'm just trying to see if he's managed to build over the shit in the center, which he has, to be fair. Terminus has managed to get over that, which is cool. Sorry, I know that probably makes no sense to a lot of you, but yeah, in the middle of the building up there is like a rectangle in the center of it, but Terminus has managed to build over it. So yeah, perfect. Now, in terms of the structure itself, it's pretty awesome. Again, I like the mixture of materials used on it. I do like the lightning conductor coming out the top of it as well. Little perimeter fence on it. Yeah, it's great. And the fact that Terminus has managed to get a building of this size up here is quite impressive. Like I say, it is a tricky little spot, this. Interior-wise, again, decent. Pretty much well fleshed out. Literally no complaints from me on this build. I think you've done a fantastic job, Terminus. Now, just before we rank the builds, if anybody wants to actually build up here, just a word of warning, you will constantly get shot at by super mutants and scorched. It is also a pain in the ass to get on top of this building. And of course, falling off is an issue as well. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Anyway, that's the last camp of the week. Let's find out what position everybody's coming. In the number one spot for me this week, I'm going to go for D0314 with the box office build. Very clever, looks very time consuming, and that doorway's got me scratching my head. So yeah, number one for me, D0314 or DO314. Not too sure. You know the score. Rhymes so good I deserve an encore, sorry. Number two for me is going to be Terminus with the build we've just looked at. Like I say, difficult location, and I think the overall finish on that was bloody bob on. So yeah, number two, Terminus. In the number three spot this week, I'm going to go with Alex Stone. I think it was a great looking structure, decent location, and overall top-notch work. Yeah, number three for me, Alex Stone. In the number four spot this time around, I'm going to go for Coffee Ewok. Very small build, but very well executed. And the decor on it, perfect. Yep, number four for me, Coffee Ewok. In the number five spot, I'm going to go for 6 Samurai with the Blue Ridge Trader build. Again, I like the concept behind it. Was in a great location. Perfectly executed. Number 5, 6 Samurai. And that leaves them on Petty Fleurs, Cyber Jester, and Atomic Punk in the 2 honourable mention spots. Both great builds, and on any other week, could have been in the top 5 proper. So yeah, fantastic work to every single one of you, and thank you to everybody who entered this week. As we say in the north, I will love you and leave you, and I'll catch you at next one. Have fun, everybody.